SLT Fibre and experience the power of fibre technology. Sri Lanka's only super fast internet connection. SLT Fibre. Call 1212 now.
Headlines tonight. Deep fake. The US dismisses video discrediting presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa as fake. Behave. Election Commission urges social media use with restraint. With days numbered, the president lauds his neutrality, which he points to as the cause of pre-polls peace. Heed warnings. Police urge people to switch off mobile phones when taking to polling centres. All this and much more coming up tonight on First at 9, this Friday, the 15th of November 2019.
ගොඩක් ගර්ල්ස්ලා ආටිෆිෂල් විදියට පැහැපත් වෙනවා. ස්වභාවික විදියට පැහැපත් වෙන්න Fair and Lovely විටමින් තෙරපි දෙන්න. ඔබේ ස්වභාවික පැහැ ආයෙත් ඔබටම.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
A very good evening and a warm welcome. This is First at 9 on AdaDerana 24. The United States today rejected a State Department video in circulation which has been manipulated as fake. In rejecting its spokesperson at the US Embassy in Colombo, Nancy Van Horn confirmed to us that the video is a doctored version of an official State Department press briefing. Now, this video discredits Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa relating to his status of citizenship. That wasn't all, as a document also discrediting the former defense secretary is in circulation. Just as the video, the document too was confirmed to be a work of fabrication by the US Department of Justice.
Manipulated version of a video of a US State Department press briefing addressed by Department spokesperson Morgan Ortegas on the 9th of July this year was in social media circulation today. When we contacted the US Embassy in Colombo to ascertain the authenticity of the video in question, its spokesperson Nancy Van Horn confirmed, quote, "The video is a doctored version of an official State Department briefing," unquote. Furthermore, when we put the video through an authentication process, it was revealed that its color was manipulated, depicting a difference in color of the original video and the one in question. In addition, the fake video is dubbed over, completely altering the original narrative, while it is apparent to the naked eye that the dub is not synchronized with US State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortegas' lip movements. In the meantime, a fake document purported to have been issued by the US Department of Justice is also in social media circulation pertaining to Gotabaya Rajapaksa's citizenship status. The US Department of Justice too confirmed to AdaDerana that the document is fake and a work of fabrication. It went on to say that since the date depicted on the document, the 11th of November, the US Veterans Day, a state holiday in the United States, the document could never have been issued in the first place.
Gel scene action. Anti-germ mouthwash සමගින් එන close-up gel එක story එක start කරන්න.
The entire country is all set and ready to go for the big day tomorrow as Sri Lanka decides who its 7th executive president will be. This time around, over 15 million voters are eligible to cast their vote for their preferred candidate. More than 60,000 police personnel, including the Special Task Force and the Civil Security Force, have been deployed island-wide. Voters have been requested to cast their vote as early as possible.
Sri Lankans head to the polls tomorrow to elect the country's 7th executive president. 35 candidates have entered the 2019 presidential race this time, marking it as the highest number of candidates in the country's electoral history. The number of voters eligible to cast their vote stands at 15,992,096. There are 12,845 polling stations and 43 counting centres set up island-wide. The voting process will commence at 7 a.m. and will come to a close at 5 p.m. The transportation of ballot boxes for the presidential poll was seen today as well. Ballot boxes were also seen transported by boat to some polling centres. Over 5,000 observers, both local and foreign, are deployed for the monitoring of the elections. Meanwhile, 60,175 police officers have been deployed island-wide, along with 880 members of the Civil Security Department and Police Special Task Force. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Transport Board stated that a special bus service has been launched to aid voters in travelling for voting purposes. Accordingly, 5,800 buses will be operated by the Sri Lanka Transport Board. According to the Railways Department, no changes have been made to the train schedule ahead of the presidential poll.
Since becoming a republic, Sri Lanka has had 7 presidents, with 6, including the incumbent President Maithripala Sirisena, being executive presidents. Here's a look at the country's rich history of presidential elections.
The 1978 constitution introduced the executive presidency, with the first presidential election of the country held in 1982. At the time, J.R. Jayawardena, contesting from the United National Party, acquired a percentage of 52.91% of votes, while his opponent Hector Kobakadu, representing the SLFP, only managed 39.7%. During the country's second presidential election held in 1988, the then Prime Minister Ranasinghe Premadasa contested from the UNP, while Sirimavu Bandaranaike contested from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. R. Premadasa was elected president with 50.43% of the votes, while Sirimavu Bandaranaike only obtained 44.95%. The poll to elect the third executive president of the country took place in 1994. Presidential contender of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party on that occasion was Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, who won the election by a percentage of 62.28%, while UNP candidate Srimati Disanaike only managed 35.91%. The 62.28% of the votes obtained by former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga is by far the highest percentage recorded by any president in the history of Sri Lanka. Kumaratunga contested for a second term in 1999, where she obtained 51.12% of the votes, defeating Ranil Wickremesinghe, who managed only 42.71% of the votes. In 2005, Mahinda Rajapaksa entered the presidential race, representing the United People's Freedom Alliance, with his opponent being UNP's Ranil Wickremesinghe. Rajapaksa edged out Wickremesinghe with 50.29% of the votes, with his rival managing 48.43%. Rajapaksa sought a second term in 2010 opposite former commander of the army Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca. Mahinda Rajapaksa obtained 57.88%, overpowering his former army commander, who only mustered 40.15%. Incumbent President Maithripala Sirisena's bid to become the 6th executive president of Sri Lanka in 2015 saw him contesting from the New Democratic Front. His opponent was Mahinda Rajapaksa. Sirisena obtained 51.28% of the votes and does not seek a second term in office. With history in the making, Sri Lanka will go to polls tomorrow to elect the island nation's 7th executive president.
With just hours to go before Sri Lankans head to what many consider a historic presidential election, the Election Commission held a media briefing where stern warnings were issued on specific activity that the public should avoid tomorrow, ranging from voter intimidation, social media usage and congregating at polling centres. What most members of the public are unaware of are both the illegality and the length that the Election Commission has been empowered to deal with incidents that could threaten the integrity of tomorrow's polls. The chairman of the Election Commission expressed confidence that all results could be released to the public by dinner on Monday, the 18th.
Chairman of the Election Commission Mahinda Deshapriya held a media briefing in the run-up to the much-anticipated polls tomorrow, where he began by commanding all stakeholders on the low number of incidents related to election violence so far. He also highlighted stern measures that could be enacted by the Commission to protect the integrity of the polls in the event of any election law violations. Violations highlighted were voter intimidation, illegal canvassing or congregation, and social media usage. He added that the Commission expects to complete the issuing of election results by the evening of the 18th.
ඊයේ මධ්‍යම පළාතේ ස්ථාන දෙකක ඡන්ද හිමියන්ට තර්ජනය කිරීම පිළිබඳව වාර්තා පැමිණ ලැබුණා බියගැන්වී. නමුත් සාම සනාත වෙලා නැහැ. අපි පොලිස් වාර්තා ගෙන්නමින් ඉන්නේ. නමුත් අපි ඉතා තද අවවාදයක් කරන්න කැමති කිසිදු ප්‍රචණ්ඩ ක්‍රියාවක නිරත වෙන්න එපා. අනවශ්‍ය ආකාරයේ සුළුවෝ ප්‍රචණ්ඩ ක්‍රියාවක් සිදු වුණොත් මැතිවරණ කමිෂන් සභාව කිසිසේත් පසුබට වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඡන්ද විමසීම ශූන්‍ය කරලන්න එම ප්‍රදේශයේ. ඒම වුණොත් ප්‍රතිඵල නිකුත් කිරීමත් අපි අත්හිට ඕන. කරුණා කළා නීතියට අනුකූලව හැසිරෙන්න. මෙය ඉතා තද බල ඉල්ලීමක් මෙන්ම අවවාදයක් කියලා සැලකුවට කමක් නැහැ. ඡන්දපොළ ආසන්නේ මීට 500ක් දුරට කිසිම ආකාරයක රංචු ගැසීම් ඉන්න බෑ. ඒ පිට වුණත් රංචු ගෑලා ඡන්ද ආයෝජනය කරමින් අත්පත්‍රිකා බෙදීම් කරන්න බෑ. ඒක නිසා ඡන්ද නීති ආරක්ෂා කරන්න කිසිදු අයෙකුට ඒ සමාවක් නැහැ. සමාජ ජාල අවලංගු කරන්න අවහිර කරන්න තහනම් කරන්න කියලා අපට ඉල්ලීම් ලැබෙනවා. අපි ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා නැවතත් සංයමයෙන් ඉන්න. මේ ඔබට ලැබෙන අවසාන අවස්ථාව කමිෂන් සභාව මේක තහනම් කිරීමේ අදහසක දැනට නැහැ. නමුත් අපට තදින්ම මේක ඊටම නරක විදියට හැසිරුණොත් නවත්තනවා ඇරෙන්න වෙන විකල්පයක් නැහැ.
අවසන් ප්‍රතිඵලය මෙවර පරක් වෙනවද?
අපි ඡන්ද ප්‍රතිඵලය අපි හිතනවා තැපැල් ඡන්ද ප්‍රතිඵලයක් හෙට රාත්‍රී 10යි 12යි අතර දෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙවි කියලා. අපි බොහෝ වෙලාවට හිතනවා මේ රත්නපුරේ තැපැල් ඡන්ද ප්‍රතිඵලය අපට ලැබෙවි කියලා. මොකද ඒක සම්ප්‍රදායක් හැටියටම දිගින් දිගටම කලින් ලැබුණ නිසා. ඒක කියන්න බෑ. ඡන්ද පත්‍රිකා දිග නිසා අපි ගණන් කරන්නේ හවස 5:00 විතර පත් වෙන නිසා 12:00 පහු වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. රත්නපුරේට කලින් වෙනත් තැනක එන්නත් පුළුවන්. අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා 18 වෙනිදා පෙරවරු 8 වෙනකොට ලංකාවේ ඡන්ද ප්‍රදේශ 160 සහ තැපැල් ඡන්ද අඩුම ගානේ 100කට 80ක් 90ක් විතර ප්‍රමාණයකවත් ප්‍රතිඵල අපිට නිකුත් කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා. අපි කොහොම හරි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා හෙට දවල් හවස 6 වෙනකොටවත් අපිට ප්‍රතිඵල දෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. නමුත් දෙවනි රවුමේ ගණන් කිරීමක් ගියොත් ඒක 18 වෙනිදා වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. අපි මොන තත්ත්වයක් යටතේ වුණත් 18 වෙනිදා රෑ කෑමට කලින් ප්‍රතිඵල දෙනවා.
Meanwhile, police media spokesperson SSP Ruwan Gunasekara also held a media briefing to highlight the tight security measures put in place by the police department to ensure a free and fair election. He revealed that a total of 60,175 police personnel have been deployed island-wide, including teams of riot police and police special task force personnel to provide security to members of the public as they exercise their franchise tomorrow. In addition, specific illegal activities unknown to the public that could court arrest and prosecution were also highlighted, such as displaying candidate posters on personal vehicles and ringing of mobile phones within polling centres.
ජනාධිපතිවරණයට අදාළව සියලුම පොලිස් රාජකාරී අද පෙරවරු 6 වන විට දිවයින පුරාම ආරම්භ වුණා. පොලිස් නිලධාරීන් ඡන්දපොළ රාජකාරී සඳහා පමණක් 25712ක් ඊට අමතරව පොලිස් ජංගම සංචාර 3043ක් යෙදවීමටත් නියමිතයි. ගණන් කිරීමේ මධ්‍යස්ථාන සඳහා රාජකාරී යෙදවෙන සමස්ත නිලධාරීන්ගේ සංඛ්‍යාව 2193ක් වෙනවා. ඊටත් අමතරව දිවයිනේ සෑම ස්ථානයක්ම ආවරණය වෙන්න කැරලි මර්දන කණ්ඩායම් 153ක් ස්ථානගත කරලා තිබෙනවා. මේ ජනාධිපතිවරණය වෙනුවෙන් ස්ථාපිත කරපු මාර්ග බාධක 190ක් තිබෙනවා. මේ අනුව මේ සියලුම රාජකාරී සඳහා මේ වන විට පොලිස් නිලධාරීන් 60175ක් මේ වන විටත් රාජකාරී යොදවලයි තිබෙන්නේ. ඊට අමතරව සිවිල් ආරක්ෂක බලකායේ නිලධාරීන් හා බටයින් 8080ක් රාජකාරී යෙදවිලායි තිබෙන්නේ. මීටත් අමතරව සෑම ගණන් කිරීමේ මධ්‍යස්ථානයක් සඳහාම ආරක්ෂක රාජකාරී සඳහා පොලිස් විශේෂ කාර්ය බලකායේ නිලධාරීන් යෙදවෙනවා. මේ මොහොත වන විට ජනාධිපතිවරණයට අදාළව පොලිස් ස්ථාන වෙත ලැබී තිබෙන සමස්ත පැමිණිලි සංඛ්‍යාව 107ක් වෙනවා. නීති උල්ලංඝනයන් 115ක් වාර්තා වෙලා තිබෙනවා. මේ වන විට අත්අඩංගුවට ගන්නා ලද සැකකරුවන්ගේ සංඛ්‍යාව 90ක් වෙනවා. 13 වෙනිදා මධ්‍යම රාත්‍රියේ සිට නිහඬ කාලය ආරම්භ වුණා. මේ නිහඬ කාලය තුලදී එක්තරා පක්ෂයකට විරුද්ධව කරුණු ඇතුළත් කරපු අත්පත්‍රිකා 5900ක් ඊයේ මහනුවර අස්ගිරිය ප්‍රදේශයේදී සොයා ගැනීමට හැකි වුණා පොලිසියට. සැකකරුවෙකුත් අත්අඩංගුවට ගනු ලැබුවා. ඔහුව පොලිස් සැප මත මුදා හැර තිබෙනවා. එක්තරා පක්ෂයකට විරුද්ධව කරුණු ඇතුළත් කරපු තවත් අත්පත්‍රිකා 3845ක් මාදම්පේ පොලිස් වසමේදී අද උදෑසන සොයා ගැනීමට පොලිසිය කටයුතු කළා. එක් සැකකරුවෙක් අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීමටත් කටයුතු කළා. අපි තවදුරටත් දකිනවා පෞද්ගලික වාහනවල පෝස්ටර් අලවා තිබෙනවා. පෝස්ටරයක් ඇලවීම කළ හැකි වන්නේ අපේක්ෂකයා ගමන් ගන්නා වාහනේ පමණයි. ඒ හැරෙන්න වෙනත් කිසිදු වාහනයක අපේක්ෂකයන් ප්‍රවර්ධනය කරන වැකි හෝ පෝස්ටර් මේ කිසිවක් ප්‍රදර්ශනය කිරීම තහනම් වහා මේවා ගලවා ඉවත් කරන්න කියලා අපි දැනුම් දෙනවා. මෙවැනි නීති උල්ලංඝනයක් සිදු වුණොත් අපිට සිදු වෙනවා ඒ වාහන පවා ගරු අධිකරණයට ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න. අපි ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා ඡන්ද පොළට එද්දී ජංගම දුරකථන තියලා එන්න. එලෙසම සඳහන් කරන්නේ සලකුණු කරන අවස්ථා ඡායාරූපගත කිරීම, සලකුණු කරපු ඡන්ද පත්‍රිකා ප්‍රදර්ශනය මේ සියල්ල වැරදි තහනම්. ඔබ අත්අඩංගුවට පත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එසේ නැතුව ඔබ ජංගම දුරකථනය රැගෙන ඇවිල්ලා එන අවස්ථාවේදී ඡන්ද පොළ තුලදී නාද වුණොත් එයත් ඡන්ද පොළ රාජකාරී යෙදී සිටින නිලධාරීන්ගේ රාජකාරියට බාධාවක් වශයෙන් සැලකෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා ඔබට එරෙහිව නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමේ අවදානමක් ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
Meanwhile, Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, called on the public to pray for the nation as it stands at a decisive moment on the cusps of a presidential election. The Cardinal made this call at a ceremony in Sidua today, held in celebration of his birthday.
We must love our country and we must unite this country and we must create equality and happiness in this country. And let us pray very specially at this moment for our country because it is at a decisive moment facing an election of a president. We as men and women of faith must trust in God.
And we take a short commercial break. We'll return with more ahead of tomorrow's polls after this break. Well, a couple of incidents of officials on election duty in Colombo taking ill after consuming their meals were reported today. Election officials and civil security personnel on duty at the main ballot paper distribution centre at Royal College Colombo were hospitalized following the incident. A similar incident was also reported at the Colombo District Secretariat in Narayampeta, prompting investigations by the Criminal Investigations Department.
A group of officials deployed for election duty at the Royal College Colombo suddenly took ill after taking breakfast this morning. Around 8,000 officials are stationed there, which is a distribution centre for ballot papers. They also tasked with overseeing the ballot boxes of the Colombo district. After having breakfast, the group of officials had shown symptoms of abdominal pain and vomiting and lightheadedness. They were then admitted to the Colombo National Hospital. Five civil security department personnel are also among the hospitalized. The Crimes Investigation Division of the police also arrived at the Royal College to conduct an investigation, while Chairman of the Election Commission Mahinda Deshapriya too arrives there. In the meantime, another group of officials deployed for election duty stationed at the Colombo District Secretariat in Narayanpeta also took ill after breakfast today. They too were admitted to the Colombo National Hospital. Meanwhile, commenting on the incidents, a spokesperson for the Election Commission expressed hope that it will not be a hindrance for tomorrow's polls.
Election monitoring body PAFRIL meanwhile said that hundreds of complaints pertaining to election law violations on social media have been received. Addressing a media briefing, its executive director Rohana Hettiarachchi said that the Election Commission took due measures to address the concern.
Yesterday we have reported 444 complaints against the social media. Every hour we have reported into the Elections Commission. Fortunately, the Facebook group has been already removed these illegal propaganda activities. And today also we have reported 47 complaints so far. During the cooling period, we have reported a lot of religious places. They are appealing to the voters, those who are coming to the temples and other religious places, to vote some specific candidate in a different way, in a very diplomatic way. So this is really unfortunate situations. We wish to appeal, especially the plantation owners and the state superintendent. We know generally they will allow their people to vote in the evening hours. In this time, the ballot papers is quite lengthy. If you are not giving enough time for your people to vote on the elections, there will be an issue that if they are not able to get their ballot paper before 5 p.m., they may not get a chance to vote. So we humbly request all the owners of the plantation sector, allow your people to select their president in this election.
President Maithripala Sirisena views his neutral policy as the main reason behind the peaceful environment leading up to tomorrow's presidential election. The president made this remark during a ceremony organized to commemorate his services rendered in his capacity as the country's head of state.
A special ceremony was held at the police headquarters to commemorate the services rendered by President Maithripala Sirisena as the minister in charge of the law and order portfolio. The president was warmly welcomed as he arrived at the police department auditorium this morning. The president then joined the Inspector General of Police and several other senior officers for a meeting.
1947 පළවෙනි මැතිවරණය පැවැත්වුවේ එදා සිට මේ දක්වා මැතිවරණ කාලය තුල බලයේ සිටින රාජ්‍ය නායකයා නිර්පාක්ෂික වූ පළවෙනි අවස්ථාව. මේ මැතිවරණය ඉතාම සාමකාමී මැතිවරණයක්. මම හිතනවා ඒට ප්‍රධාන හේතුවක් තමයි ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශයේ සහ පොලිසිය භාරව සිටින ජනාධිපතිවරයා ආරක්ෂක ඇමතිවරයා අපක්ෂපාතී මධ්‍යස්ථ ප්‍රතිපත්තියක මැතිවරණ අවස්ථාවේ කටයුතු කිරීම.
Meanwhile, another ceremony organized by the president's staff to felicitate the service of the president was held at the president's official residence yesterday.
මම හිතන්නේ එතුමා තරම් සමාජයේ මිනිසුන් අතර නිന്ദා පහසයට ඒ වගේම ගැරහීම් වලට නොයෙකුත් චෝදනා වලට මෑත කාලේ ලක්ුණ නායකෙක් නැති තරම්. ඒ සියල්ල ඊ타ත්ම උපේක්ෂාවෙන් ඉවසීමෙන් නිහතමානීව ඒවට මුහුණ දෙන්න තරම් ආත්ම ශක්තියක් එතුමාට තිබුණා කියන එක මම හිතන්නේ අපි මෙනෙහි කරන්න ඕන.
Meanwhile, the president was felicitated by the Tri-Forces in Colombo yesterday. The South Asian Partnership Summit Excellent Awards 2019 was worked off yesterday under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. During the ceremony, President's Media Director of Photography, veteran photojournalist Sudat Silva, was awarded South Asia's Best Political Photographer. Meanwhile, President Maithripala Sirisena also presented awards to the winners of the Interdepartmental Productivity Award ceremony of the Presidential Secretariat.
As the entire country waits with eager anticipation as the long-awaited presidential polls kicks off tomorrow, First at 9 is ready to bring you a new revolutionary election day experience here at AdaDerana 24 as our coverage commences tomorrow morning. From the commencement of voting at 7 a.m, we will bring you the very latest facts, figures and views from all across the island using the latest broadcasting technology on our Sri Lanka Decides Election Day coverage.
The time has finally come. As polls kicks off tomorrow to elect the country's 7th executive president, First at 9 looks forward to bringing you the latest news and results throughout the day right up till the final result comes in. Viewers can look forward to a comprehensive coverage of the entire process using the latest television technology on our special election coverage Sri Lanka Decides 2019. Commencing with our Derana program at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow, Sri Lanka Decides 2019 election coverage is set to kick off from 8 a.m. on AdaDerana 24 and continue throughout the day with our island-wide network of provincial correspondents reporting in with the latest news and views. Coverage of election results will commence during our special segment Sri Lanka Decides Election Night Live right after the main news bulletin at 6:55 p.m. tomorrow evening. Subsequently, as and when the results start streaming in, we look forward to bringing you verified election results straight from Sri Lanka's most high-tech news studio, Studio 24, with a whole new and improved visual experience brought to you by an international team of broadcast experts and technicians.
I think the viewers are going to really see something they've never seen before in Sri Lanka as far as news studio or broadcast in general. This is a top-of-the-line, new age studio.
Studio 24 is historic in terms of news broadcasting in Sri Lanka and globally. It has brought AdaDerana to the level of world-class quality broadcasting. This project rivals anything that we've done globally.
It's certainly going to be a revolutionary experience for us here at AdaDerana 24, so do join us. We'll take a short break now. Welcome back to the news. The Central Bank's Purchasing Managers Index for the month of October shows an increase in manufacturing activity, recording an index value of 57.6 compared to September 2019. This increase has been attributed to increase in production and new orders, especially in manufacturing in the food and beverages sector in the lead up to the festive season. Meanwhile, employment also increased in the food and beverages and apparel sectors, mainly due to the recruitment of new employees to increase the production levels to meet the higher demand in the period ahead. Although the new orders and production expanded at a higher rate, the stock of purchases remained broadly unchanged due to accumulated stocks brought forward from previous months. Meanwhile, the services sector also increased to 56.9 index points in October this year, mainly supported by growth in new businesses and business activities compared to September 2019. New businesses reached a 19-month high, with financial services and insurance sectors dominating in securing new businesses. And Sri Lankan shares rose today, touching their two-week high as investors picked up shares of beverage makers and diversified companies ahead of Saturday's presidential vote. The benchmark stock index ended 0.72% firmer at 6,023.02. The Bows rose 1.53% for the week, but it is down 0.48% for the year. Foreign investors in the meantime were net sellers of riskier assets for a seventh straight session, selling a net 303.9 million rupees worth of shares on Friday, extending the net foreign outflow from the equities market to 7.63 billion rupees for the year, according to index data. Here's a brief report on how markets performed today.
During the week, the ASP gained 1.1%, mainly due to price gains in counters such as John Keells Holdings, Distilleries and Carson Cumberbatch. Meanwhile, the S&P SL20 increased by 1.2%. The average daily turnover for the week was up from last week to 1.2 billion rupees. Diversified sector recorded the highest sector turnover during the week. The foreign participation remained active during the week, with foreigners closing as net sellers, where foreign sales accounted for 56% of the total weekly turnover. A net foreign outflow of nearly 1.83 billion rupees was recorded for the week. This resulted in the year-to-date net foreign outflow to increase to 7.62 billion rupees.
And the rupee ended 0.11% to firmer at 180.10 to 30 cents per dollar, compared with Thursday's close of 110.30 to 40 cents. The currency is up 1.4% so far this year. Here's a look at how the Sri Lankan rupee traded against other major currencies of the world today. And that wraps up tonight's edition of First at 9 on AdaDerana 24. Thank you for joining us. Do tune in to AdaDerana 24 tomorrow early in the morning as we bring to you our Sri Lanka Decides election live coverage. Thank you for joining in. Good night.